Imagine stepping into the flow of time, transported to an era long gone. It's the 10th century in Baghdad, the world's largest and wealthiest city, where merchants, scholars, and travelers from every corner of the world gather. As you step into Suq-e-Mahdi, one of Baghdad's most famous marketplaces, your eyes widen in awe. The sound of gold and silver coins clinking fills the air. Voices in different languages blend together, and the echoes of bargaining bring the market to life. You pause for a moment and observe an Arab merchant negotiating the price of Indian spices, a trader from Al-Andalus exchanging Egyptian linen for Chinese silk, a Persian businessman selling Baghdad's finest paper products in return for European wool. And just a few steps away, an Italian merchant watches in astonishment. Deception in Islamic markets is almost unheard of. Every transaction is written down. Every deal is made in the presence of witnesses, and trust between traders is stronger than ever. As you walk further, you notice a young merchant named Abu Rahman visiting the market with his father. His father, a seasoned trader, tells him, "Son, this market is not just a place for trade. It is a civilization, a center of knowledge, and an economic laboratory. Here, merchants don't just earn wealth. They embrace wisdom, honesty, and the principles of integrity." You can't help but wonder why trade in most parts of the world was controlled by kings, feudal lords, or a privileged few. Islamic markets gave every individual, regardless of race, religion, or social class, complete freedom to trade. But how did these grand markets of the Islamic caliphates come into existence? What kind of economic system did they follow? And how do these historic marketplaces still impact the modern economy today? Let's turn back the pages of history and step into an era when the economic power of Islamic caliphates shaped the world. Trade in the era of Islamic caliphates. Trade was the backbone of Islamic civilization. The Prophet Muhammad himself was a merchant, and from the Rashidun Caliphate to the Abbasid and Ottoman eras, commerce flourished like never before. The great trade routes connecting the world. The Islamic caliphates controlled three major trade routes that shaped global commerce. The Silk Road stretching from China through Central Asia to Baghdad. Maritime trade routes connecting the Mediterranean, Red Sea, and Indian Ocean. The Trans-Saharan trade route linking Africa's gold and salt trade with the Islamic world. A story from Suq-e-Mahdi, Baghdad, 10th century. A young merchant named Yusuf arrived in Baghdad from Morocco. He had some of the finest leather goods, but didn't know how to do business in this grand market. A local trader, armed, took him under his wing and explained that in this marketplace, every trade deal is recorded in writing to prevent fraud. Yusuf was amazed. Islamic markets weren't just built on trust, but also on written contracts, a system that inspired modern banking practices. Famous Islamic trade centers. Baghdad, the heart of global commerce, the Abbasid capital, and the epicenter of global trade. Home to Dar al-Hikmah, House of Wisdom, where traders didn't just engage in commerce, but also studied mathematics, science, and philosophy. The translation movement in Baghdad introduced Greek, Persian, and Indian knowledge to the Islamic world. Cairo, the meeting point of Africa, Europe, and Asia. Under the Fatimid Caliphate, Cairo became one of the wealthiest cities in the world. The Khan el-Khalili market, established in the 14th century, remains a major trading hub even today. Cordoba and Al-Andalus, the Islamic trade hub in Europe, famous for leather, glass, and paper industries that supplied Europe. Islamic traders here were also experts in geography, mathematics, and astronomy, knowledge they applied in business. How Islamic markets influence today's economy. The birth of modern banking. Did you know that the foundations of today's banking system can be traced back to Islamic markets? Muslim traders introduced the Hawala system, which evolved into today's international money transfer methods. The stock market concept. The idea of profit-sharing Mudarabah in Basra and Baghdad laid the groundwork for today's stock markets and investment firms. Customs and trade regulations. Many modern taxation and trade laws were inspired by the organized systems of Islamic markets. Islamic markets were not just places for earning money, but also centers of justice, ethics, and financial innovation. If these principles were revived today, the global economy could achieve greater stability and fairness. The ethical and financial system of Islamic markets. When the Rashidun Caliphs expanded the Islamic empire, economic stability was a crucial part of governance. Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab introduced an advanced monitoring system for markets. He personally inspected prices, ensured fair trade, and punished fraudsters. Under his leadership, the following core Islamic trade principles were established. Honesty and transparency. Every trader was required to disclose the real value of their goods. Contract-based deals. All major trade agreements were documented to prevent disputes. No interest-based lending instead of interest-based loans. Businesses operated on profit-sharing Mudarabah, a practice still followed in Islamic banking today. The greatest Islamic trade hubs, Bukhara and Samarkand, the jewels of the Silk Road. These markets were filled with Chinese silk, Indian spices, and Roman jewelry. The famous traveler Ibn Battuta described Samarkand as one of the most vibrant trade centers in the world. Caravanserais inns for traders function like early banking systems, allowing merchants to deposit money in one city and withdraw it in another. Fustat and Cairo, the economic powerhouses of Africa. Fustat Old Cairo was the heart of trade between Africa and the Islamic world. The Fatimid Caliphate established Khan-i-al-Khalili, one of the oldest markets still operating today. Istanbul, the Ottoman economic capital. The Ottomans provided legal protection for traders, ensuring ethical business practices. The Grand Bazaar Kapalı in Istanbul remains one of the world's largest and oldest markets. European traders from Venice and Genoa learned from Islamic markets and built their own banking systems based on Islamic trade laws. Islamic financial innovations and their global impact. The Hawala system inspired today's swift international banking system. Profit-sharing Mudarabah became the foundation of modern Islamic banking. Zakat, charity, and Waqf endowments ensured economic fairness and social welfare. Market inspectors Mutasib enforced fair pricing and ethical business conduct. These trade hubs weren't just markets, they were centers of knowledge, cultural exchange, and financial evolution. Some of the greatest thinkers, scientists, and philosophers of history engaged in discussions right inside these markets. Could these principles, if revived today, help the world regain economic balance and ethical trade practices? Powerful call to action for maximum audience engagement. Want to hear more hidden stories from Islamic history? Hit subscribe and join our journey through time. Comment below. If you could visit one historical Islamic market, which one would it be? Share this video and help spread the forgotten legacy of Islamic trade. Turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of Real History. This isn't just a video, it's a movement, and you are part of it.